it's gonna be, you're gonna pretty much become a rebel or become a revolutionist, man. But we righteous revolutionists and we righteous rebels, man. We rebelling righteously, man. Just cause, like we always say, just cause I don't want to eat swine, these devils got a problem, man.
Right.
You know?
I want to wear a manly beard on my face.
Yeah, these devils, these are natural things, man. You shouldn't want to eat swine cause it fucks you up on the inside, man.
Right.
You know, I got a problem with chemtrails falling from the sky, man. Cause it's getting my children sick, man. I got a family, man. And every time my baby goes outside, they clogged up with this chemtrail shit, man. Right. And then they putting, what is they putting in the they putting poison in the cereal and shit.
They putting lead in the cereal.
They putting lead in it.
If you do it, there's plenty of countless videos on the internet, on YouTube. There's people doing basically, they're doing an exhibit where they put in cereal and they're taking magnets and they're moving it and the cereal's moving.
There's
only one way that a cereal can move, next to a magnet. You put magnet next to a plastic fork, it ain't gonna move it. Right. But you put it next to a silver fork, it's gonna move it because it's a form of lead or metal. And that's in the cereal, man. And guess what? They got a whole goddamn aisle for cereal, man.
Oh wow, man. You know, kids used to love all them damn cereals, man. I mean, we grew up, man, and it tasted Captain Crunch, Cinnamon Toast, Fruity Loops, and what is it? Yeah, Frosted Flakes, Apple Jacks, and shit.
Bro. Hey, even to this day, if you sat down and watched TV, you can't go a day without seeing a commercial for a cereal still.
A 30-minute episode without a cereal commercial.
Get a cereal commercial.
Toys, of course, but a cereal.
Yeah.
They had
11 o'clock at night.
They had a cereal back when we were kids. They had a cereal based on a cartoon that you have watched.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Count Dracula.
Yeah, Count Dracula. They had their own, you know, they had their own cereals and stuff, man.
And then it's always a Jake in those commercials and shit, man.
Hey, man.
You know? It's all, yeah, go ahead.
This is Isaiah 32:6.
Amen.
Don't get too close, man.
For the vile person will speak valiantly, and his heart will work iniquity.
It'll be pride. Go ahead and break that up.
Amen.
You want to speak on?
Yeah, read it again for me.
Okay, so for the vile person will speak villainy.
What does vile mean? Vile means basically generally wicked in nature or doing something that's not right. That's what he don't think pure thoughts. He thinks wicked thoughts, not disgusting. Yeah, disgusting. Keep going.
And his heart will work iniquity.
And his heart, his mind will always think negatively. Will think of the worst things to do. Back up, man.
Amen.
To practice hypocrisy and to utter error against the Lord, to make empty the souls.
Always trying to, and that's the same thing. He came up with those unrighteous decrees. Always looking for a way to do against what the Most High God through the Spirit wants to happen. But that's the role of the devil. So why would you want him in the kingdom of heaven? That's supposed to be righteousness and greatness. Why would you want the devil in heaven? Why would you want him there?
And it says to practice hypocrisy. Examine what it means to practice something. To practice something so you can perfect it. So it can be a skill and then eventually become a talent, meaning where you can do it right. You can do it without thinking. It comes natural. That's what he does when he practices. I mean, he basically practices as much wickedness or iniquity that he can practice, so he can be perfected, so he can perfect it.
Yeah, man.
So he can do it without thinking, second nature.
Man. Go ahead.
Amen.
It says, and to utter error against the Lord, to make empty the souls of the hungry. Now the souls of the hungry is you Jakes out there, you Israelites.
Like the fatherless and the widows, like we said it now.
Yeah, right now.
And he will cause the drink of the thirsty to fail. The thirsty is you Israelites. The drink is this knowledge, this word. And he's going to cause it to fail through his church systems and in the different, like even the different Israelite groups that are get infiltrated or sell out for the so-called white men.
That's not pushing the 100% truth. Man.
Right.
Like we do here at Great Millstone.
And the philosophies that they push. Telling you just one of the biggest philosophies that they push is that all men can make it. All men can be saved. The Lord is for everybody. He's not for everybody.
Like this brother said, why would you want your enemy up there in heaven with you, to make it with you?
Right.
Go ahead.
The instruments also of the churl are evil,
Churl is like a rude person.
I'm gonna get the definition. I got it on.
You got it lined up?
Yeah, I got it lined up.
Yep.
Yeah, so.
Because Churl, like some of these words, it's not that hard, man. Just look the words up so you get the full understanding. A lot of these other Israelite groups get real lazy instead of going into these words, man, going into the other languages, going into the meaning of the English words. You know?
It comes from the Hebrew word churl, which comes from the Hebrew word kalaya, which means scoundrel. Knave. And then in the Hebrew Chaldeans lexicon says fraudulent, deceitful, crafty.
What's fraudulent? Fraud, false, deceiver, devil. All of those are synonyms to that.
Right, exactly. It says
because when you're churlish or you're a deceiver, you're doing away from what should be done. What should be done by the Israelites is following through the spirit of righteousness after Yahweh Hashem Yahushua.
Right, so basically, to read it again, it says, the instruments also of the churl are evil. So the fraudulent one, the scoundrel, the knave are evil. It says, he devised wicked devices to destroy the poor with lying words. Who's the poor?
Lying words. That's us.
Once again, the poor in today's society is you Israelites. Even though through the Spirit you're the rich. Because the scriptures tell you in Revelation that thou art rich because the kingdom of heaven belongs to the nation of Israel. But on this side, this is not our heaven, this is our hell, which makes us the poor.
Because we don't have the Heavenly Father, because we don't have understanding to go down through there.
The brother Rock just said it. Our people are alienated from the commonwealth of Israel.
And that wealth, where that wealth starts at the base of that wealth, is this wisdom.
This knowledge. It says, I'm gonna read that part again. He devised wicked devices to destroy the poor with lying words, even when the needy speak it right. So even when the needy speak it right, when you have us out here speaking right, they're gonna constantly be trying to dethrone this word, constantly trying to take this knowledge away from our people by pushing it.
Planting the seed of doubt in this word, you know. But that's where your faith comes in. That's why we're faith-based, because your faith has to stand. You know, like I said, the seed of a mustard seed. How did that go? The faith of a mustard seed, you know, can remove mountains, you know.
And what is those mountains? Those mountains are actual governments. Those mountains represent obstacles, difficulties, challenges that are in your way.
Great challenges, not just small stuff. Because that's at every turn they're gonna try to debunk this word and get you away from it. You know.
See, they trying to make this word ancient like it doesn't have anything to do today, man.
Right.
When it says wicked devices, it don't have to mention chemtrails, the needles that the doctors use to inject you with AIDS or inject you with these diseases. They don't have to mention that. We wait. Most High put the Spirit on us to wake us up to know what these devices are, man. You know?
What does the scriptures say? The scriptures say we're not ignorant of Satan's devices, right? We're not ignorant of the ways that he uses to try to put his influence on society or the public, the people, because the Most High open up our minds to this knowledge to understand it. Because our people are dead, and the scriptures say when you get this knowledge, then you shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. So mentally and spiritually, we're free.
Let me say it like this: to be simple about it. For a lot of people, the way that you what did you say a moment ago about before you said we were dead?
What's your question concerning?
Right before that. Well, where you up? I lost it, so don't interrupt, bro. Read that part again.
Would you say the openness to the devices though? That was.
But she had a question.
Go ahead.
I know a woman's supposed to learn in silence. I know my place.
You don't have to put it on camera.
And I'm just going to ask you a question. What tribe are you from?
Here's the regular I mean,
I know those are the tribes, just maybe one. Maybe you can tell me.
oh, okay, it's according to your father, your father's father.
You'll never know by the way you look.
Yeah.
But by spirit,
Yeah.
Yeah, but I was just trying to
There's indications.
My Sabbath, and I'm honoring it. It starts sundown, but I'm honoring it. So when I see you guys, I had to stop just to give you guys, thank God that you guys are here.
Yeah.
And Yahweh Shah Most High, and everything that.
And then,
I want to say,
I mean, it's good to know your tribe. I mean, but it's not really the spirit. Yeah, it's more of the spirit and staying connected with the Most High Yahweh Shai.
Right.
But you know, because we might not know our tribes.
we could be wrong.
We just know we of those tribes.
right.
Yes.
Hey, that's beautiful. You said that. I was just about to say, at this point, none of us, there's indicators that you may know the tribe you may be from, but our people are scattered.
Yes, right.
We're scattered all across the globe, so we don't have the records of what tribe we came from, which we used to keep in the ancient days. We had those records, and you knew it. You was a Judite. You knew you was a Benjamite. We knew our tribes because it was kept. Because we knew who we were as a people. The scriptures say we were going to discontinue from our heritage, and so when we discontinue from our heritage, our people don't know that they're Hebrew Israelites. But now, in these last days, the Most High said that He's going to gather His people up by the word from the east to the west. So we're being gathered right now. So the Most High is letting our people know you're Hebrew Israelites. So the point right now is not to really concern ourselves what tribe we're from. Although it is, if you have an indication of what tribe you may be from, that's cool. But just know that you're one of the children of Israel. You're a child of the Most High, and that's what really counts through the Spirit.
That's right. Go ahead.
So like Romans 8 and 16, the Spirit itself bear witness with our spirit that we are the children of the Most High.
Right,
and that's all that, once you are in, it don't matter where you're at in.
I was just curious. Like you said,
But
as long as I know I'm part of it,
it'll
I'm
reveal it
going
to
by
you.
His commandments, I keep my Sabbath. And you know, I work, but I thank God. I even told my boss, I said, hey, this is my Sabbath. So I thank God He honors it like every month.
We do the best of our ability. Because this devil, you know, you got to work sometime on the Sabbath. You know, we in slavery, so we trying hard. We trying to do our best. You know what I'm saying? Rehearsing the righteous acts. And also it says this Bible was written for us, of course. And it's a scripture that says, you know, not to be concerned with genealogy. And Esau make you think that that's talking about him, like, okay, so he come from the gene of Edom, so don't be concerned with that. Let him in. No, it's talking about Israel, because we used to have different gifts. Priest, Levi, Judah is the head tribe, so we used to boast kind of back then, like, you know, when we were going off, like Judah be like, I'm the head tribe. Y'all can't nobody tell me nothing. Levi, the priest, you know. So now we all gonna become priests. And we all become, you know, kings.
You humble.
Yeah, it keeps you humble.
You know,
that's true.
where you can't boast over any other.
Yeah, exactly.
I give Him all the glory, all the praise.
Because it's some Judah might be it's some Ephraimites over Judah, you know, and it's true. But you know that it doesn't matter. But you know, even though Judah's still the head, but still we all together. We all one, man.
And then
really
also
counts.
you have a lot of brothers who think that they're Judah, but they're really Gadite. You know, they're really Native Americans, right?
A lot of those,
or Reubenites. You know, if you was to look at this brother right here, you would think that he's a so-called African American, which would place him as the tribe of Judah, but he's not. He's a Reubenite, which is a so-called Seminole Indian. But you don't go by the outer appearance. But at the end of the day, we don't really know. He just might be a Judite. That's why when our Lord Yahweh Shai comes, it tells you that He's going to separate them. He's going to separate. One of you brothers can get that for me right quick. Matthew 25 and 31.
If I can say something right quick, because people think when they see even with a dark skin, see Esau played this color stuff, man. But when you see a dark-skinned person and they start talking in Spanish, you'd be surprised, like, you know, wow. But he's come from Mexico or, you know, the South Americas. Esau is the one that's pushing this facial awareness to where all the Latin tribes he's showing the magazines is like look like white people, so-called white people, and even we have so-called white people that might be Judah. It might be a tribe,
Some of the deception that he's doing is he's got these celebrities, right, that are going on this program and they're getting their blood traced back to, you know, a certain place in Africa, right? So basically, he's putting that out there so our people to you to hold on to that fact that we're Africans when we're not Africans.
Because really, if you don't mind me speaking, really, if you think about it, African and American, that's two different continents.
Two different
people.
That too, but when you look at it as far as research, it's two different continents, which is America have South America and North America. You know, I'm not from Cuba, I'm not from Haitian, I'm not. So that's a big. That's a big conflict right there, a big lie.
Exactly.
But it's white.
And if you really go deeper into it, an Italian man, an Edomite, by the way, Amerigo Vespucci is what America was named after, and Africa was named after Leo Scipios Africanus.
Right. See,
two Edomite men.
Thank you. Exactly.
But,
so much deception.
But you see that they were ruling the world, and they named it, but we so proud to want to be called both of
Thank
those.
you. Exactly.
And then also, if you're tracing these people's blood back to Africa, where would their blood be before they were in Africa? And it goes further than that because our people migrated to Africa. And then why is it all their blood being traced to West Africa? The borders of West Africa.
And it said the brother read the scripture, you should know them by their spirit. We don't act like Africans. We don't put bones in our noses and plates in our lip and rings on our neck. You know what I'm saying? That's witchcraft. And when the heathens read the scriptures, they take it literally. They don't take it. They don't know the mystery. So when they say the daughters of stretch forth necks, they probably try to stretch their necks for real and literally.
As you know, when I see an episode like that, when they actually took things off, they couldn't even. It weakens their bones in their neck.
But those curses are spiritual. You know how women have an attitude and they snap their neck. They call it snapping your neck and rolling your eyes and all that. So, we don't want to, get but that's, Most High gave us the mystery through, of course, our elders, apostles, and, through the whole truth, through the Spirit, really, to understand this. And Esau don't, so he's mad, so-called white man. And not only that, he don't understand the scripture. He's not included in the 12 tribes of Israel, man.
Because he paid a lot of money to try to put himself as that and to keep us away from it. But we found it out anyway. He's upset about it.
Amen.
Good.
I don't know if you're still holding.
Just hold that.
Exodus chapter 9, verse 4 says, "And the Lord Yahweh shall sever between the cattle of Israel."
Sever means to cut, means to split, cut difference. So if I give you a piece of paper and I need half and you need half, I gotta sever that paper to give you a portion and for me to keep a portion.
Amen.
Go ahead.
It said shall sever between the cattle of Israel and the cattle of Egypt.
Meaning the cattle, meaning the stock of Israel and the stock of Egypt. Egypt represents the Hamites or the so-called Africans. And then Israel represents the people you see on this side.
So, and there shall nothing die of all that is the children's of Israel.
Right, nothing shall die of the children of Israel. Go to the next one.
But Israel.
Exodus chapter 11, verse 7, it says, "But against any of the children of Israel shall not a dog move his tongue against man or beast, that ye may know how the Lord Yahweh do put a difference between the Egyptians and Israel."
Right, so since there's just as so that there's a difference between a man and a beast. So if a man walking down the street with his dog, you don't see two people there, or you don't see two dogs there, you see a human and a dog. Just like there's a difference between them, there's a difference between Israel and the Egyptians.
Yep.
You get that, bro? You get that?
Thank you, and I appreciate everything. You guys have
Well,
you too.
Hey,
Shalom.
we here all night long.
Go ahead, bring that out, bro.
This is
We here now.
This is Matthew 25 and 31. It says, it says, "When the Son of Man shall come in his glory, and all the holy angels with him."
That's what I'm talking about, Yahweh Shai coming in his power. And I asked this brother for the scripture because his sister that was here a second ago wanted to know about what tribe she's from. We don't even know what tribe we're from. We could come to find out, like for myself, I believe through the Spirit I'm a Judite. But through the Spirit, I could be another tribe. This brother could be another tribe. This brother could be another tribe. But when Yahweh Shai comes, he's going to separate Israel from the other nations, which at that point in time, you're going to know what tribe you're from, because the scriptures say when we get into our kingdom, there will be no questions unanswered. Go ahead.
It says, "And all the holy angels with him, then shall he sit upon the throne of his glory, and before him shall be gathered all nations.
Meaning Yahushua going to sit upon the throne of his glory, meaning all glory is going to be given to him, all power is going to be given to him, and that's when righteousness will be ushered here on the earth. Go ahead.
And he shall separate them one from another.
Hold up. Okay, so if the so-called white man can make it, and these other nations are equal, and if all men can make it, why is he separating them? What is the deal with the separation there for?
I got it. Hold on, something. Go ahead.
Fuck up. Say what you want to say.
Nah, I wasn't going to say that now. I was going to read something.
Go ahead, bro.
It says, and he shall set, Salak, it says, and he shall separate them one from another, as the shepherd divideth his sheep from the goats. And he shall set the sheep on his right hand, but the goats on the left.
The sheep represents the nation of Israel. The goat represents the so-called white man and the other nations. There is a separation between the two, and then he's going to set one on the left-hand side, which is the other nations, the heathens, and then the righteous seed, which is the nation of Israel, he's going to set on the right-hand side.
And go to Google it up and look up Illuminati, and you'll see the Baphomet sign. You'll see the goat head yourself, man. They represent the goat head proudly, man. You know?
It says, then shall the king say unto them on his right hand, come ye blessed of my father, inherit the kingdom prepared for you from the foundation of the world.
Now, just this is a quick pointer, so you'll know that the goats represents the so-called white man. This is Daniel's 8:20. The ram which thou sawest having 2 horns are the kings of the Medes and the Persians. The Medo-Persian Empire. It says, and the rough goat is the king of Grecia, and the great horn that is between his eyes is the first
common
king.
Knowledge is who are the Greeks.
Right, who are
common
the Greeks?
knowledge.
Who are the Greeks during the Greek Empire?
Right.
That's the so-called white
Now
man.
they don't go that deep, but we know that though. But that's why I said common knowledge is when the Greeks came into power, the so-called white man was calling himself the Greeks. And it occupying that land.
And the great horn that is between his eyes is the first king, which represents Alexander the Greek. He was that horn. He was that one who came, that goat that ran up on that ram, and when they crashed, that horn basically put the death blow to the Medo-Persian Empire, which was the ram. So that's how you know that they're the goats. So when he separate the sheep from the goat, when he come back, it's starting with the so-called white man, because he's the head house of all the heathens, all the other nations, and all the other nations will be on the left-hand side, and Israel will be on the right-hand side. And it said that what did it say? Read that last part. What did he say? Come ye.
It says, come ye blessed of my father, inherit the kingdom prepared for you from the foundation of the world.
Right, because the foundation of the world, this was our kingdom. This is supposed to be ours. We're supposed to have an inheritance to this. It all belongs to the nation of Israel.
Hey, back since Jacob and Esau. Go ahead.
I was going to say, like it says in 2 Ezra 6. Ezra said, you know, if this world was created for our sakes, why do we not possess it? Right. Because the time for us to possess it is when Yahushua comes and separates the sheep from the goat.
Hey, get it, bro. Get it.
If you don't
6
mind.
and 58.
That's a good one. Yeah, that's the perfect.
Actually, just start up and just read that whole
start at
54.
This is 2 Ezra 6 and 54.
Because it's gonna break down the whole context of what we're talking about.
Right. The separation.
That Israel is separated from every other people on the planet.
It says, verse 54, and after these, Adam also, whom thou madest Lord of all thy creatures.
So let me make a quick point. Because we're separate, like he read that there was a difference between us and the Egyptians. You know, we keep saying different, the goats from the sheep and all of that. There's a separation everywhere with our animals and them, and our culture and theirs, our heritage and theirs, as well as these curses. They didn't share all of these curses with us. Some of these nations might have had 1 or 2 incidents in history like that, but we're the only ones that went through all those things written in Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter. You know, the negative things in there. Go ahead, bro.
It says, and after these, Adam also, whom thou madest Lord of all thy creatures, of him come we all.
Everybody comes out of Adam.
And the people also whom thou hast chosen.
He just made a separation right there. He said all of us come out of Adam, even the people whom thou hast chosen. So he separated them and said, even your chosen people, come out of Adam. Go ahead, bro.
Verse 55, it says, all this have I spoken before thee, O Lord, because thou madest the world for our sakes.
Yep. From the beginning, like it said in that last verse, was that Matthew 25? You was reading?
Yeah. 25 to 31.
Yeah, he said, because from the beginning, from the foundations of the earth, it was made the world, the foundations of the earth, for our sake. Go ahead, bro.
It says, as for the other people which also come of Adam, thou hast said that they are nothing, but be like unto spittle, and hast likened the abundance of them unto a drop that falleth from a vessel. And now, O Lord, behold, these heathen, which have ever been reputed as nothing.
So he just told you that the heathen are the other nations that he did not choose, that have been reputed as nothing. Go ahead.
Have begun to be lords over us and to devour us.
How'd they get on top? They've become to be lords over us and devoured us because of all those curses the Most High put on us for not following the statutes, laws, and commandments. Go ahead, bro.
But we, thy people, whom thou hast called thy firstborn, thy only begotten, and thy fervent lover.
What's the word?
Endowment.
Ownership and endearing terms. That's the word I'm looking for. Endearing terms of affection put on us by the Most High. He called us our firstborn, our fervent lover. What else did it say?
It says, thy only begotten.
Our only begotten. Go ahead.
And thy, it says, but we, thy people, whom thou hast called thy firstborn, thy only begotten, and thy fervent lover, are given into their hands. If the world now be made for our sakes, why do we not possess an inheritance with the world? How long shall this endure?
Hey, if the planet was made for us, how come we ain't running shit? You know, because, and the answer to that question is because we didn't follow statute, laws, and commandments.
And then the second question is, how long shall this endure? Well, the answer was when the brother read Matthew's 25 and 31. It was going to endure until Yahweh shall come and do the separation between the nations and the nation of Israel. That's when we're going to give our inheritance. That's why Yahweh shall said, come ye blessed of my Father, inherit the kingdom that was prepared from you from the beginning. So that's how long we're going to have to endure this. We're going to have to endure being on the bottom until our big brother Yahweh shall come. And bring us salvation.
That's right, man. Don't worry, it's gonna speed up, man.
It's moving fast now.
Yeah, it's moving fast now.
It's moving faster than your eye can see. You know? But if you got the spiritual eyes open, you can see how fast it's moving. You can see World War III. Just to make a quick point about how fast and where we're really at, Trump did something else to make the world hate him. I ain't about to pay for y'all to worry about the climate and global warming and y'all gonna take care of it anyway. Why should I be putting in for it? We're gonna take that money and put it back into our country. Oh, what? You don't care about the world? You gotta live on Earth? But what? Everybody ain't in on that program. Why we gotta pay for it? We need it for ourselves now.
If Trump is actually doing things to try to recover this country, to try to beef this country up, to get this country back. He's doing that. The Most High God he's doing a real good job of that. He's cutting programs to save money off the budget. And actually working the books properly to try to recover this country, because this country has to get some type of recovery so they can get that pride, so they can get that puff up, so they can have something to fight for. So when these other nations, when they clash with these other nations, they're actually good, because these people, they're actually going to go to war. With the belief that they're going to win the war and there's something after the war for them. But we know that through the scriptures, after this war takes place and all the prophecies take place, this is the end of his kingdom and it's the beginning of ours.
That's why he's trying to juice it this long. He's buying time. You know what I'm saying? He's America's supposed to be destroyed. The wickedness of the decree of the wickedness America is pulling out, man. America should have been destroyed 1,000 times over, man. But this is the Most High's purpose, man. You know what I'm saying? He's speeding up the time for the elect's sake, man. You know what I'm saying?
Right. We shall read that.
This is 2nd Ezra 6.
Because it talks about the dividing of time. How long shall this endure? We'll start bringing up the dividing of time. So there we go.
This is 2nd Ezra 6 and 7. It says, then answered I and said, what shall be the parting asunder of the times? Or when shall be the end of the first and the beginning of it that followeth? And he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him, Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau. For Esau is the end of the world, and, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth.
Yep.
So I'm reading that again. Yeah.
Amen.
Verse 8. And he said unto me from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him, Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau.
Yep.
For Esau,
that was spiritual when that happened, because that was like things happen that more things happen than men understand. So when that happened, that signified that we was gonna come after that separate nation that came out the womb. That once that